Hey guys, welcome back to the Homestead Fam. Today we're going over my top 5 canned items that I like to have on hand at all times, no matter the season, no matter the time, whether they be meals, condiments, fruits, canned vegetables. I'm going to show you my top 5 items and why we like to have them to have our kitchen run smoothly. And a lot of it is just the nutrition benefit for health purposes, and also most of this is cost saving because we like to grow a lot of our things, or we will buy them in the store on a discount and preserve them. Or we also just like to customize things to how we like them. So if we like our pickles sweeter or saltier or with more dill, we can do that. Now, having these items on our shelves is important because as a busy mom of 3, I like to have things that I can grab or go that are quick and easy, that if it's 20 minutes before dinner and I have no clue what we're having for the night, I have something always on the shelf that I can pull together and make something in like 15-20 minutes. Before we get into this, make sure to subscribe and hit that little bell icon so that you don't miss any of our next videos, and let's get right into it. So first I thought I would show you our pantry and where we keep everything. I think online it is easy to see the glamorous parts of things and see all the people who have lavish pantries and things perfectly organized, and that's not us, at least not right now. We have the space that we have and we try to use it to the best of our ability. But we don't have a specific root cellar or a specific huge pantry to keep all of our canned goods in, and we use what we have. So we have them in like 3 or 4 different areas. Most of it is in our garage. It keeps cool in here in the summer, and they're in cupboards so it's dark. So this is our first one. Up here we have our Mylar bags, which is all dried things. So these are freeze-dried eggs. So we keep pretty much all of our preserved food, other than in the freezer, our freezer food, in these cabinets. So up here we've got all of our Mylar bags of freeze-dried food. We have our honey, which we have some on the floor right down here too that needs to get put there. And then here we go to, we've got some meats and cranberry juice, stews, more ground meat down here. And then we come down to the other side and we have this on the same side. So we have some tomato products and more ground meat. We have some dried herbs that we grew, and then just some canning supplies at the bottom. And then way up here, this is all of our jars that are not being used yet. Thankfully, we got gifted a lot of our mason jars from our grandparents who no longer use them. And so that makes it really nice. We don't really have much overhead on the mason jars. And once you have them, they are reusable. You have them for good, unless you'll have one break every once in a while. But we are going to be set for a while. And then our pressure canner and water bath canner are up there stored as well. I am now heading to the other side of the garage where we have this little shelving unit, and this has kind of been where we've expanded from up front and in our kitchen. A lot of this is from my Canuary series I did this year. So it was when I canned something every day in January, and we needed some overflow because it was getting to be too much in the house and in the other side of the garage. So here we have up here a lot of our pressure canned items, like our veggies and stews. And then down here we have a lot of our water bath canned items, which are usually fruits and pickled items. So these are more sides, these are more meals. And we've got some cranberry salad, pickled cabbage, jams, more juice. And then we also have some water back here. I like to just have a few of those just in case of an emergency. If our power goes out here in Michigan, that's not unheard of by any means that, you know, it snows and we have a down power line and the power goes out, and it's just nice to have as a peace of mind to have some sterile water back here. Also, I heard one time from someone, I can't remember, that a full jar takes up just as much space as an empty jar. So all of those jars that we have above on the other side of the garage over there, I've been trying to put things in them because in my mind I'm like, well, yeah, they're just sitting up there taking space anyways. They might as well have food or water or something in them. Okay, I just got back inside and I brought in my top 5 favorite things to have on the shelf at all times. Now, sometimes this might ebb and flow depending on the season, what we're growing, but I usually like to have these no matter what. So first, let's talk about applesauce. Applesauce with 3 kids is very handy to have. I also really prefer a very cinnamony and chunky applesauce, which I don't find in the stores. So this is always a must-have on our shelves. And we have 2 very mature apple trees out back. So we have a surplus of apples every year. And we do press some apple cider and make some different apple things, but applesauce is definitely a must every year. The second one is any canned meat. This is canned venison that I did this year. We got like 4 or 5 deer this year. So with not having a ton of freezer space, our freezer is jam-packed full. I like to can up a lot of it too. This is great for like beef and noodles. You can make different pasta dishes with it. You can do tacos, nachos, depending on your meat. This is venison, but you can also do chicken the same way, and I love having that as well. We do tacos, we do like buffalo chicken dip, we do chicken sandwiches. Just a plain canned meat on your shelf is always a must. Leading into that, sometimes I like to not just do a plain meat, I like to have an already prepared meal on the shelf, and that's why soups and stews are also a must-have and why they're on my top 5 list. This one is the venison stew. It has carrots, potatoes, peas, onions, and the venison. And this is so easy. We just pop it into a small pot on the stove, and then I usually make up some quick 15-minute drop biscuits and pour this right over, and that makes like a 15-minute meal, but it's all homemade. We know exactly what's in it, and it was very inexpensive because we processed the venison ourselves, but then we can also grow most of these veggies, and if not, we can buy frozen veggies in bulk on sale. Number 4 is probably my daughter's favorite canned item, and that is homemade ketchup. I think I spoil my kids a little bit with giving them homemade ketchup, but I'm spoiling myself because I just love homemade ketchup so much. And I like that my ketchup, I don't put any corn syrup in it, any dyes, any preservatives. This one is, I believe, just tomatoes, garlic powder, onion powder, honey. This one's sweetened with honey, not even sugar, and then vinegar. So there's really not much to it, and it's delicious, it's thick, and always a must-have on the shelf as well. So number 5 is a little bit of a different one. These are pickled onions. I love pickled onions so much, and I know not everybody loves them, but in this house, I love having these, and anytime I get low, I am making more. I like to put these on tacos, in rice bowls, on burgers. It adds such a sweetness and tanginess and a crunch to anything you really put it on. I did just can a bunch of these. They're sitting over here. And with those, I did buy them in bulk from the store when they were on sale and canned them up. But we also plan on growing a bunch of red onions as well this year, and they're just beautiful too. Now, these might not be your top 5 when you start canning, but think about what you enjoy, what your family eats weekly, and stock those up in your pantry. Keep them on hand, and that will make your kitchen and your pantry and your life just running that much smoother. Now, if you're just getting into canning, I highly recommend you start with water bath canning. This is, you can do pickles, you can do ketchup, you can do applesauce. These 3 are water bath canning recipes, and those are for high acid foods. So Things like ketchup are high acid because you add a lot of vinegar, and tomatoes are a little higher acidity. Apples, pickled things are high in acidity because of the vinegar. And then the reason why I suggest you starting here is because a big concern with a lot of people about home canning is getting botulism. But botulism cannot survive in a high acidic environment. So if you're nervous about that, then start with water bath canning. It is also a lot simpler. It requires a little less equipment and a little less monitoring. As for pressure canning, you need to monitor it a little more, and there is that little bit more of a safety risk, but when following trusted recipes and doing it the right way and following the safety protocols, then this is super safe as well. If you're wanting to get into canning and you don't know where to start, I have other videos on water bath canning, but I also have a free water bath canning beginner's guide. I will link that down below. You can find out everything you need, the safety risks, and a step-by-step of how to go about it, from getting your jars cleaned all the way to have a finished product on your shelf that's safe and stored properly. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this helpful and got some inspiration for canning and building your pantry. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon so that you don't miss any of our videos, and I'll see you next time.